what does ROIC mean, or what does ROE mean? They both mean very similar things: return on invested capital and return on equity. Return on equity means return on the value of the company and the funds that the business has, and return on invested capital also includes the debt, so meaning they can take out loans to sort of finance any investment. And this sort of gives a picture for how efficient the business is operating at. So, for example, very inefficient business models which are very low quality and very low returns, such as the cotton mills and stuff like that, can often generate horrible returns of 2-3% historically, which is very poor returns. You may as well have, just stuck it in a bank account at that rate. But that aside, you also have other business models which are sort of returning invested capital at 20-30% plus. And these type of businesses is what leads to compound, because if you've got a business which has a long runway and is able to sort of grow 30% and grow 30% and keep continuing, then before you know it, in 10 years, if they just grew at 26% a year without any multiple expansion, the business itself would have 10x its net income in just that 10-year period. Again, in 20 years, it would have 100x. 30 years, if it continued, it would have 1,000x. So that's how you can get these huge numbers to play out just through simple compound interest. And that's essentially the gist of why return on invested capital is so important. Because even in the first year, a 3% difference to a 26% difference is significant, but it's not that noticeable. But the difference between those two businesses after 10 years will just be day and night, completely different. One would have been lucky to have kept up with inflation, and the second would be a tenth of its previous size, essentially. So this is why return on equity and return on invested capital is used as this measures to see what returns is the business getting for every dollar or every pound they put into investment, and how can this compound? Well, it's a compounding machine that it can feed and grow and continue that feedback cycle. That's the importance of return on invested capital, and again, return on equity. So now you know what ROIC means, and you know what ROE means. Thanks for listening.